Do you guys? Oh yeah. Do you guys want to talk about like personal life things, or are we just leaning more towards like games, TV shows, or whatever topic
I
we're
don't want.
going
I
on?
don't want the world to know about my personal life.
All
That's
right,
fine.
caveman
I
high
want
school
everyone.
it is.
Okay, you can make fun of me because I have a lot of weird features. Like for example, my pencil toes. You guys could talk about that all you want.
Yeah, you know, Kai's
yeah.
famous pencil toes that everyone
But
knows.
dude,
about.
I'm the one that called him that.
You called him pencil toes?
Yeah, it
Well,
was like on the way
What
to
the
a
fuck
Witch
is
Witch.
wrong with
We
you?
were on the way to Witch Witch, and he was like, "Dude, can you walk any slower?" And I said, "Look who's talking, pencil toes."
The thing that's weird is that I don't know how Brady knew at the time.
Oh no, I've never seen your toes, but I just
The
knew.
thing is, I have fingers for toes.
I imagine it's not even like he has skinny toes. He's literally got pencils sticking out of his feet, and that's how he
It
walks
wouldn't be
around.
so bad if they weren't so hairy.
I am so sorry about that. I
Yeah, you
can't
should
control
be.
that.
The pencil toes on
I've
you.
already started recording, so this is a good start.
Okay. Okay, that was never mentioned, but that's fine. We can talk about cavemen.
Do we
Okay,
segue into a
let's talk about cavemen, guys. Yeah,
Okay.
let's talk about the cavemen.
Okay.
start us off.
Wait, who started off? I'll start off.
Yeah, you started off.
Okay.
Okay, every time you make a joke, Austin, you have to make a buzzer sound. Like bwah, 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 bwah.
Okay, so I'm just not gonna make any jokes anymore. It's just gonna be straight talking now.
I'm silent
So-
for the rest of the podcast.
I think caveman is the laziest name ever.
What are you talking about? That's what they're known for.
Yeah, but it's like, dude,
Austin's already started.
Don't. It's like
Scratch
you
that
try-
idea.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
Okay, that's all.
Let's,
That's all.
let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to calm down. Let's all start over on this. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. I agree with you though. Caveman.
No,
You
no,
fucking
stop.
ass!
I thought you were making buzzer noises. I thought that was. You said something about Homo sapien high school. Let's go into that.
Okay, so my first thought about cavemen was like, well, obviously they had an education system, right? Because how else did they think of fire accidentally? "Quote unquote accidentally."
Dude, they didn't have an education system. You think they're like doing math tests like ooga ooga ooga?
Yeah. Dude,
another guy
Ooga
was
plus
like,
Duga plus Duga equals Trega.
Equals Trega
You'd
squared.
actually be surprised though. I feel like most people don't learn how to make fire from their ancestors. They learn it because they're arsonists at heart and they just start fires. Like I feel like that's just a very natural
What do you
thing
mean
for
from
certain
their
people.
I think they were all
When are you like-
sadists and they all wanted to see their neighbors burn.
My grandpa took me into the woods and started a fire with me.
He put you on a stick, he tied you up, and burned you.
He said it's
You're
all
like,
gonna be
I'm
okay from here.
I'm hungry.
I never did see that grandpa again. He was a good guy. He was just
We were both nude at the time.
Jesus,
Just
it wasn't his
lured me into the
uncle,
woods.
it was his grandpa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if it was his uncle, it would be fine, but not his
totally natural
grandpa.
at that point.
No.
You know, that's how they do it in East Virginia. Right? That's so
East
no, it's West Virginia. No, damn it.
East
You know
Virginia.
you know the northern hemisphere of Virginia? You know it? You know the
Virginia's
Yeah.
got its own hemispheres. That's how like polluted it is with just like sickness and famine.
It's like known for being nice, like environmentally.
Okay, back to the cavemen in the
Okay, what's the
caveman high
deal with
school.
Homo sapien high school?
Okay, so Homo sapien High School is, I feel like, one of those schools to where they constantly like bully each other and like, you know, they club each other on the heads, and that's what creates our school systems today. You know, like they were in class and they were like ooga ooga bonk bonk bonk, and that's what started today.
Oh, look over there. There is nerd caveman. I use club on him.
They bully them.
Can you elaborate how it transferred? So what you're telling me, when did... No, everything you said made no sense. You were just like, yeah, I just transferred to today. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen bullies today? They just go bonk bonk.
Did we go
What
from
really
caveman
don't?
times directly
say
to
kill
modern
yourself.
day education?
Like, bullies have gotten smarter. They're getting wiser.
No,
like,
I feel
just
like, okay, if
imagine
I'm
it.
being totally honest, bullies have gotten lazier. Okay, we've gone from good bullies, like the good kind that like shove you in lockers. Brady, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up.
You know,
I
like
don't
Yeah,
Slab,
but
like
you know what? It would have
Slab.
been fine if you didn't immediately bring up the fact that I've been stuck in a locker before.
Like Slabinski.
want- so
Dude.
bullies used to do that, right? They used to Slabinski. They used to steal your lunch money. They used to go out of their way to shove you off bikes and to shove you off bridges and stuff. Whatever the bully may have done.
You used to just murder.
They'd go to your house and shake you in the night. You know, bullies
They would just murder you,
put you off bridges.
shoot you. They would slit your throat in the
But now-
hallway.
No, but nowadays it's so much lazier. It's I'm gonna block you on this social media, dude. I'd rather have that person come over to my house and stab me in the gut 15 times.
I
don't
know.
think-
Have you seen the movie Cyberbully?
Oh my god! That
Oh
is
my
the
God,
best movie
yes.
of all time.
There's some
Legitimately,
pretty great movies.
no. My favorite quote from any movie, and I'm not joking. I didn't. Cyberbully has so many good ones, but this one is my all-time favorite. It's her after being cyberbullied for like 3 days, and she starts unscrewing a pill bottle, and she can't get it correctly. And she's in the bathroom for like 2 hours, and her concerned friend breaks into the bathroom, and she sees she's having trouble like opening this pill bottle, and she looks at her and goes, "Oh, I can't get the cap off." And when she says that, you look at it, it's a child-proof lock. It's not like rocket science. It's,
That's
oh my
dude.
God.
I hate to bring it to Sonic, but so there's this part in Sonic and the Black Knight, right, where Knuckles he attempts to kill himself.
Oh my god.
He's standing there with like a sword because he fails to fight Sonic, and he goes like, "I dishonored my family. This is the one thing I have to do." Sonic slaps the knife out of his hand and just goes, "Give me a break!" Like,
Jesus. That was a... What?
it's
You're
Sonic and the
fucking
Black
joking.
Knight.
It's that was on the Wii. That was for like 8-year-olds. That was a
Give me a
game that was
break!
for suicide's
Like,
not
Knuckles-
the answer.
Knuckles tries to commit seppuku, and we're just supposed to like deal with that.
He's
Okay.
a fucking cartoon echidna. What the hell? Okay.
Maybe there's more to being a knight than serving your king.
Dude.
Oh, also
Oh my God.
Sonic is King Arthur in that,
Really?
and they don't. That's not like a plot point. They just sort of throw it in at the end because they're fighting King Arthur, and they're like, wait, if Sonic could pick up King Arthur's sword, then that means he's King Arthur. And he's like, what? And then he gets sucked out of the book and just never brought up again.
This sounds like legitimately the worst game. This sounds like
It's not even the worst Sonic game that came out like that year.
oh yeah, you had what was it, the 7 Deadly Rings or something like that?
Ew, this
Yeah,
sounds
'cause
like really
Seven
gross.
Deadly Ring.
This
What
sounds
was it called?
disgusting.
What was it called? The 7
Like Sonic. Wait, it doesn't matter. Sure.
The secret
Sonic-
ring. The 7 Deadly Rings.
See the 7 Deadly Rings? Yes. There's a string of murders going around. They find Amy's head in a box.
Jesus.
Oh, you're talking about fucking 7. That movie was scary. The
Yeah,
movie was
dude.
really good.
Where they
though.
like fed the dude to death, and that would be Big the Cat, obviously.
No, the one that like legitimately made me like recoil was the
knife?
fucking the knife. I don't
knife?
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no one does. No one's like, yeah, I'm a fan.
Would it be weird if I said I was?
Do you remember? Did you see that movie? Do you know what happened?
No, not at all. I'm just imagining it, and I'm like, you know, like the foot in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm thinking of it just as a knife, and it's just bouncing around the hallway. You know?
Oh my god, are you talking about the
That-
disembodied foot that
Yeah.
like comes out of the closet? I forgot
weird.
about that. And I had nightmares about that as a kid.
Hey, so Kai, the foot, really? You had nightmares about the
I had
foot?
nightmares. No, it's the idea of a disembodied body part, and it's the way it's shot in the movie too. How it legitimately, like, it's shot from the point of view of the hand or whatever it was, and it's fucking crawling directly on this woman. And from what I remember, it just goes in there and she lets out a blood curdling scream. And when I saw that as a kid, I legitimately had to skip that scene every single time.
Dude, as a kid, it was funny to me thinking that a foot got stuck to her cheek. Like,
Not to mention you're a little
loser.
You're stupid. Yeah, you're a dork.
Let's just start making fun of Austin for being scared. Remember when he said that he started crying at the beginning of Logic Rules? Okay.
No. Okay, you're doing this story injustice. Okay, I was on a date, right? And I probably shouldn't have said that part because it's great to hold off at the end to know that I was crying at this movie, and then my date looked over at me and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Dude, these movies really put a toll on you, Austin.
Austin,
No,
that is like the mother of red flags. If I'm dating someone, we watch like Logic Rules, and they just start crying, I'm sorry, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think I could date anyone who's scared of the
No,
foot.
it wasn't like I wasn't like no. Okay. I was scared of the foot at like 8, right?
So once scared of the foot, always scared of the foot.
Oh, he's scared of the
Well,
foot.
no, that's not how it works. Being scared of the foot is not like a racist thing. It doesn't like stick with you. You know how like you know how like okay no.
The
You know
foot
how
is
like
racist controversy.
Oh my
You know-
god, if
well,
the
no.
foot was racist, he like only killed like...
No, I was trying. Okay, my analogy was right that kids are like taught racism from their parents, right? Like that's pretty
From
much
the
where
foot.
that comes from. Because
Okay.
and it pretty much sticks with them for the rest of their lives. Like it kind of just gets stuck there. That like once you have that mentality, it kind of just sticks, right? I was thinking it's not like fear of the unknown is not the same as fear of the foot. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. God, can we cut this part out of the podcast?
No.
I feel like I'm gonna get
No. We started... This is gold.
I just like
So-
to think that the racist foot scared you as an 8-year-old.
I like picturing the foot in like a little Klansman outfit.
It's in a white glove. It's like
It's the hamburger helper glove.
Why is the foot wearing a glove?
You know those shoes where you could slip your toes into each slot? That's what it
my
is.
God.
Oh my god.
Please.
Do you think he'd be friends with the foot from the Courage the Cowardly Dog show?
No,
That- Oh
yeah.
my God.
You remember the
That
foot?
was the...
There's something about feet that scare me, man. I don't know what it is.
They're all racist to Austin.
So going back to the Roger Rules thing, just to clarify, I was not like fucking bawling at the sight of this movie, right? I shed like 1 or 2 tears, and it was just like it was like a nostalgia thing. You guys are taking this way too far.
No,
okay.
okay. The thing is,
Okay?
Austin, when you told me about this, or when you told both of us, you said it was the first 5 minutes of the movie. That's when credits are still rolling, dude.
No.
Like nothing crazy happens in the... There's no... Like, you would kind of comprehend if you were like talking about like the part where like, I don't know... I'm really reaching here, but we're in like Roger's like, you lied to me, Greg. I thought we were friends.
See, that's different.
I thought we were brothers.
When
But
he
no,
started crying
you-
in the big
you
movie
cried-
theater,
Yeah, you like cried at like the point where the mom was like, "There's no lock on this door," and then you're like, "Ugh."
no, he cried at the
No.
part where he fell at the roller rink.
No, it was in like that opening credit sequence right after the rolling rink, okay? Because it was like I was just flooded with like every memory of 8-year-old me, just like because I don't remember anything before I was like 14. Like legitimately, that's all a fucking blur, right? Middle school goes down in the hell of memories, right? And geez, you get flooded with all this stuff. Suddenly, I started remembering about like the time that I went to Zach's birthday party, and we were jumping on his trampoline that he had in the backyard, and then Oh man, life was good. That was back when life was good. You know,
Yeah, now it's just garbage.
But
Roderick rules.
back to the thing, it's like I like to think about you absolutely forgetting everything from your past. As soon as you start watching Roderick Rules, you get into like some weird memory trance, and like you look like you're going into like some weird seizure.
Shoot, what's that movie where the guy's like an assassin, but he loses all of his memories? Jason Bourne. Imagine if Jason Bourne, he can't remember his past, and he's like, "What am I?" And they're like, "Don't worry, this will jog your memory."
Dude.
And then they put on like Dog Days, and he's just like, "Oh my god, it makes sense now."
You know that the second to last mission in Black Ops when Mason is learning what the numbers are, right? What if Hudson was like, "Now Mason, we've been playing the numbers broadcast to you in your sleep, hoping and praying that you will crack the code. Now that your brainwashing is clean, everything will come back to you. This is our last chance. Please, for the love of God, please just listen one more time." And he starts playing Roderick Rules, and Mason translates the number sequence and fucking tracks down this Cold War dictator.
I remember.
Oh my god.
Coming back to me.
like as soon as like Roderick enters the roller rink, he just gets flashbacks of the Vorkuta gulag. Like, oh man, dude, what if that was where like the old high schools were like what if it was like going to a gulag, right? And they just like they forced you to do labor. I imagine that's what old schools before they had math, before they had English.
Homo sapien school is all that.
No, I don't think it is. I think what it was is it probably was just you send your kid off and then the teacher takes the kid and they do manual labor for like 8 hours and they send them back home. I literally think that's all it was because you're learning how to do agriculture and then they were like ooga booga and then
That's
they
not what
No,
School
that wasn't
was.
school,
School, you
Austin.
didn't-
There's a completely other system that was that, but it wasn't an educational
Yeah, because
system.
school wasn't mandatory. School is like this thing you could send your kid for because
was-
you wanted them to get smart.
I don't remember
So
what
you,
it
so you
was.
send your.
Oh,
You weren't
speaking
alive.
of that,
Oh, yeah, no dirt, Sherlock. But
I don't remember.
I mean, okay, so I just recently watched the movie Chaplin, and it was by Robert Downey Jr. Really good movie, by the way. But in his childhood, he was sent to do like one of those labor type things that you were talking about. It wasn't school, but it's because his mom had no money and all that, and they were like picking up kids, like Newsies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He had to do just random things and a bunch of tasks and all that. But that's what they did back then. Yeah, it's an actual thing, but that wasn't a school system.
Well then, like, okay, because Brady was talking about how school systems were more for like the rich class, how like they sent their kids.
No,
to be smarter.
they weren't even for that. They were just for
I get to
kids
learn
that-
maths.
But no, they were just for like. It was for people that had like a mediocre amount of money and wanted a better life for their kid. It wasn't like, well, we can't teach you how to hoe, so have fun in this school.
You're not
Well,
hoeing enough.
that's what schools became like towards the. I know what was it, the Elizabethan era, that like it was only the rich class that were able to go and get these higher educations, and the lower class were kind of stuck in slums. Well, like what? Okay, let's say that system existed with Homo sapiens, right? How would you dictate who was the upper class and who deserved
Okay,
education?
caveman
Like, there
with
was no
big
money.
forehead
Who had
is
more
principal.
bananas? No. They hated big foreheads. That's why they all died out.
No, they didn't.
That's right. Oh my god, yeah. No, they literally evolved to not have them because they that's weird. All of the traits that we don't have that were carried over from monkeys were because the other like versions of us from the past just didn't find them attractive. That's really funny.
I'm sorry,
Holy
Brady.
crap.
You're gonna have to go down in the future.
Why, what do I have? Look,
Well,
dude,
you
really?
and your- well,
I
no,
don't
you
have
and
a
your-
forehead,
your
so I
chiseled-
rule everyone.
No,
you and
instead
your-
you have a hole in your chest.
That makes you even more superior.
Well, no, Brady, kind of got a point because we all know about like your sixth finger. Like it's not a good look for you, and
What do you mean by
you don't like
sixth finger? What do you mean by sixth finger? How many
We're talking
fingers
to-
do you have?
You know, in your left hand,
I have-
Brady.
10, okay?
Or it would be my 11th finger. It's not like
No, we're
I just
talking about
have
your-
six
I know,
fingers.
No, I'm talking. Okay, going from left to right. I'm talking about your sixth finger, right? You know what I'm talking about. You can't deny
yeah.
it, okay? The yellow pus that is shooting out of your fingernail every day, no one likes it, okay? You try to show everyone, you try to show me when we first met. I hated it, all right, Brady? I needed to say this at some point.
Why is that my introduction? Hey, hi. You may not know me, but I just wanted to get acquainted with you. Here's my gross pus-shooting sixth finger.
We met at a fucking Denny's. That is really funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you need some more maple syrup on that? Don't worry, buddy. I got you covered.
And then, no, leave the sixth finger out of it, okay? He had nothing to do with the Denny's meetup. All right? Don't bring him into this. Sorry about that, Kai. Did you want to talk about Brady's sixth finger?
No, I'm good. I don't want anything to deal with that sixth finger he's got. I want the audience to really imagine how grotesque his sixth finger is.
Just leave it up to the imagination. It's gonna be. Oh man,
yeah,
Brady.
By the way, the very first education system for schooling is in the 16th century.
Oh, was that like the first classroom, or was that like?
No, I thought it was in the Homo sapien times.
What?
Brady.
Kai, you have a lot of explaining to do. Okay,
guys, you can't see it, but my hands are up right now. Let me explain. Okay, I said what they did in the past has started what we've done today.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how time works.
Then why are you confused?
No, but it's like, hey, yeah. If I blink right now, I'll open my eyes in the future. That's how it works.
No. I'm sorry, you're still in the present, Brady. Just accept it.
Do you think kids of the future will be pondering over like what our education system was like, especially with online schooling, like the first online school? Because I have a theory that that's going to be like the official education system going from here on out. I feel like schools are going to go obsolete.
People will be too stupid to understand it in the future.
Well, no, I don't.
No, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I feel like
if we do that, we're gonna run out of humans. We're gonna die off really fast if we keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, think about this, right? Without the need of without the need of physical schooling, right? All those high school buildings, like think about how big our building was, right? Dude, imagine the size of the arcade we could put in there.
No,
right?
It's
think
all
about it.
turning into prisons, dude. You don't understand. Our criminal rates will go up by like 200%.
You guys know that our school was designed by. You guys know that our school was designed by a prison architect, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
you have.
But
it totally like relates
Dynamite was made by
the caveman.
No. Finish that story. Dynamite was made by what?
Caveman.
You know?
I don't, because he didn't finish the.
Okay. If Adolf Hitler cured cancer, I'd still hate Adolf Hitler, but I wouldn't still take the cure.
What are you
Doesn't
talking
matter
about?
who made it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I asked for what dynamite was made. Like who made dynamite? And you started talking about Hitler.
Oh, dynamite!
You're like a crazy
Dynamite
uncle
was
like Thanksgiving.
Hey! Dynamite was made by who's the what's that award for the people that are really good?
It was
really
made by
for being
Franklin Dynamite when he was trying to.
Nobel Peace. Something Nobel. The guy that made Nobel Peace Prize, the guy that prize is named after. Dynamite was made
Alfred
after
Nobel.
that guy. Made by that guy.
Huh.
Alfred Nobel. That's his name.
Well, that's interesting.
Thank you.
What is the measuring tool for explosive? Sorry to cut you off, but what's the measuring tool for explosive?
Boom,
Is it dynamite?
bang, and bam.
No. I mean, is it dynamite or like tons of TNT? I feel like it's one of those. It's either TNT or dynamite.
It's a blocks. It's blocks.
Brady, no, this is not the time.
This is what it says.
PP is not the correct answer. You guys keep doing this shit to me. I'm sick of it.
Improvement of optics, mechanics, and USA 2015 PP.
Thank you, guys.
These are facts I'm reading off of the internet.
I am an
should I just-
expert.
Yeah, USA is
Are you-
USA, by the way.
Can I be cussing on this show, by
Yeah,
the
you
way?
can.
Yeah. Don't show this to your parents, kids at
I don't
home.
think they get into 25 minutes of this recording.
after
They
that
stopped,
whole-
dude. They stopped listening a long time ago. The
and
second,
Brady's
the second,
pus
oh,
finger. that was the
no,
breaking
dude. The
point for
second
them.
Homo sapien high school popped up, they were out.
You brought it up. That was a pre-planned.
You brought it
I
up.
brought it up
That
way
was-
before the recording started.
Dude, you know what I just realized? Oh my god. Okay, so because I wanted to bring this up earlier, right? Because we were talking about The Boys, and I'm like, what movie reminds me of like The Boys and what that idea was? And you guys are gonna hate me for this, right? I'm going to say something that you guys are gonna hate. Okay? You know what movie did
Roger
The Boys
Cruz?
before The Boys did The Boys? Right? Not Roger Cruz. Megamind. Megamind did the plot of The Boys before The Boys.
No. Yes.
Like, think
No,
about
it
it.
didn't.
No, think
No.
about it. Think about it.
No,
No. Okay. Let me.
I don't
put it in
remember
perspective.
the rape scene in Megamind.
No, there wasn't. Okay. Well. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Now I can't really defend. You guys suck. You guys really
I
suck.
probably absolutely destroyed your idea.
Just shot it down like a gun. But no. I know what you're saying, but
Let me explain to you
What's the
this,
name of the
Austin.
superhero
Remember,
in that?
Megamind was supposedly the villain at the beginning. The boys, they were never villains.
Well, okay.
They were
They're
always-
not. Okay. They're not like. They're not villains in the particular sense, but in this world's construct where superheroes are the good and the people are defended by superheroes, the boys, the group of boys, is technically the villain of the that like society, but they're the hero of the show, right?
you're acting like Megamind invented that concept.
No,
Of
I'm not.
maybe bad
saying
people
that-
are good. Like
It's not what I'm saying.
Megamind was
I'm
ahead of
You know,
its
the
time.
boys.
Megamind had
What, Austin?
Megamind had a superhero that was so boastful and so like he viewed himself as a god basically because he was. He had powers
was
that made him
God.
godly. Dude, he literally messes around with like people's kids for fun. Like
Yeah.
like there's a scene with Metro Man where
No,
he's
I think you should
babies.
rephrase that.
What should
I
I?
don't-
Oh, shit.
Messing around with kids
so,
for fun.
Okay, no. So he clearly has no concept of like what human life really matters. Like he's juggling around babies for fun. Homelander is in a very similar position of power.
What's
where
the name
he
of the
just-
guy? Please, what's the name of that guy we're talking about? Because
Metro
I'm
Man?
tired of Metro Man. You're comparing Homelander to Metro Man, right?
Yes, I know
Alright,
they're
just
not
wanted to-
exact. I know they're
know-
not. No, you put it.
Remember
in
when
such a
Metro
worse
Man
light.
exploded that plane?
You know
Stop.
when Metro
Oh
Man?
my
Okay,
God.
Metro Man to me is like if Bling Bling Boy grew up.
Bling Bling Boy.
Test.
You don't know who from Johnny Test.
I never
you
watched. Is
serious?
that the show? That's the show with the whip crown, the whip crack
Yeah.
sound effect, right? Yeah. Okay. I never really watched it. No, it just wasn't my thing. Okay, well, don't suffocate on me now, Kai. I was just trying to
Okay,
talk
let's
about
go back
shows
to
and
Metro
stuff.
Man.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
let me put this
Let's
concept to you.
just shut up.
Let's-
Let's let Austin talk.
Okay, so Metro Man starts off, and he clearly has no distinction for human life. He's got the same powers as Homelander. Like he's got the laser eyes, he's got the flight, he's got the hearing, he's got the X-ray vision. He clearly has no like discernible weakness. And I feel like if you took what's the guy's name that was like perving on Roxanne, the incel in that movie. You know what I'm talking about. That guy. Now he becomes a superhero, right?
Oh, what's his name? Kai, look him up. Who's the incel in that
Is it
movie?
Mel? I feel like it's Mel.
No, he's not
I
an
don't know why.
incel. He's a simp.
Who?
No,
Those are two very different people.
No, he's
The simp.
definitely okay. Well, he
No, if he becomes an incel at the end of it, but he starts out a simp.
okay. You're right. So he's simping over Roxanne, and he's constantly like trying to like it's just a weird dynamic, right? I feel like if you took that guy at towards the end of the movie where he becomes like this brutal monster that just starts tearing apart like the people in the city, and Megamind has to stop him by taking out what superpower was left in him. I feel like I might be predicting the end of the boys here when I say that I have a theory. Homelander doesn't have a weakness, but they're going to take the V out of him. I feel like that's going to be
What
the
a
ending of the
sentence!
show.
Sorry, what a sentence. That caught me off guard.
I'm gonna take the V out of you. No, I just read the comics. I know how it ends. You're off. I'll tell you that.
And now
You're
that
not-
makes me hope
okay.
that they don't ever compare it to
Don't
the
say
comics.
anything.
Just to prove you wrong.
Well, dude, they are going totally. In the comics, Butcher's wife is dead. There's a scene in the comics where a fetus jumps out of an alien fetus jumps out of her body, shooting lasers at Butcher, and he has to beat it to death with a crowbar. That's just
Right.
happens. The comics are way worse. Like this stuff. Every character, as bad as they are in the show, are way worse in the comics. Like,
Dude. Oh my god. Speaking of characters from that show that are like just suddenly got way worse in terms of like evilness. Fucking okay, I knew Black Noir was like a sort of an evil dude when he had to like cut open Frenchie and the girl, right? In season 1. But the opening of episode 1, season 2
please
was
allow
he just
me to introduce myself. That
exactly sympathy for the devil, and he fucking
The
ripped
dude's
open
jaw.
that guy's head.
Yeah, that was
Jesus
rad.
Christ. No, it
Well, I
wasn't just rad. It was fucking horrifying.
it was rad.
Like, imagine doing that to someone. Like, you get
I
extra
mean-
points in real life. Like, you level up after killing someone like that.
You get the gold skin. No, isn't that like?
Dude,
isn't
have
that
you
like
looked?
the-
Oh, look at Barry. He's so cool. He's in prison for ripping open a guy's mouth, but man, is he golden.
He's like Midas touch level of gold. Like he's just a fucking statue at that point. No, but isn't that like the King Kong maneuver where he ripped open that
Yeah.
T-Rex? God, I sound like a fucking
Yeah.
dork, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
dude,
a
everyone
classic.
remembers that scene. That's like that's.
I don't
was
really
the
like
one-
King Kong, but that was like a good scene.
I'm sorry. Wait, which King Kong do you dislike? Because I think we might be in a fight right here.
The newest one that I watched, not what was it? Not Treasure Island.
The Jack Black one.
No, it's like Kong Island
Skull
or something like
Island.
that, right? Like Skull
Skull
Island.
Island.
That's the one.
It's called.
literally
it's
just a
called.
skull.
It's called
It's a
Skull
skull.
Island.
Spoiler
Okay,
alert, it's a
yeah.
skull.
Treasure Island.
The one that's connected
Okay.
to the current Godzilla movies.
Yeah, I hated that fucking spider scene more than anything else I've ever seen. I had to walk out of the theater. I was so grossed out by it.
I'm sorry, you managed to watch all of the boys, but the spider scene was like, oh, that's too much.
Dude,
Awesome
you don't
Baby got through the
understand.
first
Anything with
episode.
more than 4 legs. Anything with more than
Well, that's
4 legs
fair.
can fuck off. Seriously, I'm so ugh. I can't stand like
Spiders.
oh god bugs, spiders, centipedes are all right.
The hell's
Centipedes are like
wrong
the,
with
or
you?
no millipedes. Those are like those guys are all right. They're
They're
cool.
like the worst. They're by
Yeah, I
far
don't
the
want that thing.
worst.
I'd rather
Are
have a
they?
tarantula crawl on me than a centipede.
Fuck that. Fuck that. I literally I was laying down while I was talking to you guys. I had to stand up and like shake myself off when you said that
I've held a
word.
tarantula in my hand before, dude.
I can't.
Yeah, I put one in my mouth.
I've made love with
I-
one,
okay.
dude. You don't understand.
I have an intimate relationship with tarantulas, Austin. You need to
But
chill.
centipedes, jeez.
The way you're talking about my tarantula, I feel like you're targeting me and my wife. All right, my lovely wife over here. Say hi, honey, and then she's like, no, dude, scorpions for me are the worst. I can't stand those guys.
But
No,
they're
I don't
rad.
like scorpions either.
Okay,
They're,
I
they're
gotta-
cool. I think
That's
they're
scary.
awesome. But like, I just couldn't. I couldn't hold one. I couldn't get near one because they freak me out. But like, I
They're
think
very
they're cool.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a story about a centipede. Pretty short story. So I'm in 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
And I'm walking in the playground, and I feel something near my ear, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. I'm gonna itch my ear. And I itch my ear, and something crawls on my finger, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And then I look at my finger, and there's a centipede that was just on my ear. So I take it, and I throw it so hard at the ground that it implodes on itself, and just goes, and just splatters immediately. Well, that has been my centipede story. I thank you for listening. And
I got
everybody just
goosebumps.
likes
Eating your mic?
Did I? Oh no.
I was hungry.
Hang on, are we having
No, you're
technical
good, you're good,
difficulties? Can you hear me? Alright, cool. No, yeah, I listened to that story, dude. If I were in your position, I'd probably just shoot myself. Like, I honestly, I couldn't deal with it.
In the 5th grade.
Wow, you got a hand finger, don't you, bud?
The park pulls out a Glock and shoots
Ah,
yourself.
A centipede. A centipede crawled on my ear. Well, I'm out.
That would be the end for me. I couldn't deal with the aftermath. Like, the thought of that thing just being on my ear for the rest of my life would freak me out more than
Didn't you just say
anything.
centipedes
Okay?
are fine?
I'm serious. No, centipedes are fine. It's just I've never had a bad experience with one. I've had bad experiences with spiders. I was in the bathroom one time. I just looked up at the roof and one just fell on my face.
What a gamer.
You laugh at me. But if you were in my position, you'd cry.
I'd eat
you'd
it.
cry.
I'd
I
lick
know
it.
you would. I'd open my mouth and it would just fall straight through.
It'd make a spider web on my
Did you
throat.
hear about that guy that got? Did you hear about that guy that he got bitten in the penis
And
by a
grew, like,
spider
10 times.
twice? Twice. It happened to him twice on 2 separate occasions, but both times at an outhouse.
You know,
Oh, that's
you know,
really upsetting. If it's at the
speaking
same place.
of being bitten there, I've never been so terrified of toilets because of snakes on a plane. Do you guys remember the scene when the dude walked into the bathroom and started taking a piss and a snake bit him there?
Oh my god.
I haven't seen.
Oh, but that
snakes on a
happens.
plane.
And when I was watching that movie, I didn't want to go to the bathroom for weeks.
So I just
Like
held
we
it
would
in.
go to like Red Robin and I was like, guys, there's got to be snakes in there. I don't want to go in. I was like, people are like, why would there be snakes at Red Robin's bathroom?
I
Red
think
Robin, yum.
the one movie that scared me, like after watching it, that like I was maybe 15, and me and my friend had snuck into a movie theater to go see it. This was before I worked at that same movie theater, so I didn't really understand like why that was a bad thing. But we bought. It wasn't like we snuck in for free. We bought tickets to another movie called Home Again, which I didn't know what it was about. And keep in mind, we're both guys, and we go into this movie theater, and the girl looks at us and she goes, "Hey, just so you guys know, we have a little bit of extra security today, but it's only for the movie It, so I don't think you guys will have any issue." Like, she clearly knew what we were doing. And so we go over to the theater, and the security guard just let us in no problem because he didn't give a shit. And
I like the idea of really beefed up security in a movie theater. What are they gonna do? You think
don't
they're
do
just
much.
gonna?
I worked with them. They were great guys. They just didn't do much. I think the one. Oh my god! There was one time.
Who cares?
No, there was a guy that like cracked open his skull just on the concession stand. Like he fell and just cracked it.
Oh, I thought you
Security
meant
guard.
like he went into see it, and then he grabbed it like no. Just sort of
Sneaking
like
into my movie theater.
like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood style, just slamming his head.
Throws a can of popcorn at you.
Ooh, that seems. A can of popcorn, like popcorn is cooked
Hey,
in cans, and
You want to crack up on a can of popcorn with the boys?
Can of popcorn.
So, no,
How
but
long
so
have
we
we been
get
going for now?
We've been recording for exactly 40 minutes.
Oh wow, this has been nice. No, so this security guard just lets us into the theater, right? And we were like, wow, I can't believe we made it in that easy. That was awesome. We looked up what that movie that we bought tickets for was, and it was like some rom-com that like no one was seeing, and so Yeah, that was a moment for me, and I had to work with that person like a year or so later. So it was
Why
an
was it?
interesting
Why was that a
reunion.
moment? Why? What did that affect you by?
Because like she made fun of me for like probably the next year that I worked there because she was like, "Wow, you gonna go see a rom com again?" And that was she was kind of a dick, but
Okay. Well,
What an
what a build up to
escalation,
that
Austin.
sentence. Yeah, she kind of made fun of me a little bit. Yeah, I hated her guts. I wish she was dead.
I don't hate her. I just think she was a jerk. Like I just didn't enjoy working with her. I love most of the people that I worked with there. The coworkers were great, but the people you deal with are not. I've had people try to fight me.
Just
I've had people
walk up,
try
"Hey, you wanna
and
tussle?"
steal and
Wait, yeah, that's how fight starts. Hey, you kind sir, you want to go for an old tussle in the courtyard? Yes.
they
Put up your old one-twos.
they rough up their handlebar mustaches like, let's give it a
They're all
go.
the same people.
Hold on, let me take off
They
my
all
top
sound
hat,
the same.
These three guys, they all look exactly the same, and they're all like, "Hey,
No, yeah, there was one woman that tried to jump over the counter and fight me, and I just kind of like walked away from the situation.
and I grabbed her and chucked her, and she slammed her head into the popcorn maker, and then I put her mouth on the like the butter thing, and I pumped her full of
Jesus.
butter, and she exploded.
Is this a fucking creepypasta? It's like, then her eyes glow red. She said, "I will
And then her
curse on you."
butter came out of her eyes.
Hyper realistic
Dude,
butter
that'd be such a
started spurting out of her
disturbing,
eyes.
like, thing to watch. Like about like thinking about watching that movie
Well, it's
while
like-
eating popcorn.
There was a
What if
ghost in that theater.
Anyway.
That's all. That's all
What
I
was
wanted
his
to say.
name?
So
I don't know. It's just a little girl, and a bunch of people had seen it and warned me about it, and I'm like, "You're bullshitting me." But then one time I was cleaning Theater 8, which is where it was, and
I assume.
this is like at 11:45, right?
I was cleaning Theater 8. She was nowhere to be found, but
She came over from Theater 9 and said, "Hey, dude, you might want to check this out. I think I got something for you." And she floated back into Theater 8. No, so I'm cleaning this theater at like 11:45 at night, and I'm just doing my thing. I'm tired as hell, and I'm going at it. And then all of a sudden, a fucking popcorn bucket, like half full, just is chucked across the theater, and it's spinning. So popcorn is going everywhere. And I look up to see like who did that, and no one else is in the theater. And I freaked the fuck out, and I just left.
what a ghost.
There's more stuff, but man, that was the one experience I had with it, and I never want to go back in that theater again. Anything with the number 8 scares me.
You know, when I imagine ghosts, like I really hope so. You know those scary scenes with ghosts where it's like, oh, you're walking down a hallway and then they see the little girl ghost and like she screams and then runs the other way. You know, just scenes like that.
She seemed-
What if she didn't know where she was going, so she'd scream and run instantly into the wall and get knocked out? So he just runs.
She was like an
hits the
actual
wall.
little girl. It wasn't like a specter or anything. It was just a weird little girl.
I just imagine it's the sound that you guys haven't seen that news reporter that was like walking and he's like the recent event took place at this house. Now you know that, or the police have shown us that, and then all of a sudden he rams headfirst into a pole and it makes the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life. I want to imagine it's like gong, and I want to imagine
I
that's
hate
the
those
noise
sounds.
that I can't get enough of them. I love that sound. It legitimately brings me peace.
It gives me PTSD, dude. Like
Did
I've
you
hit a lot
run
of holes in
headfirst
my life. That's why I'm like this today.
That's why I got a hole in my chest.
It's the amount of poles I kept running into.
That's my Achilles heel. Oh man, I don't know. I miss because with our school, we didn't really have many places that had poles like that. I remember my elementary and my middle school. Obviously, it's a younger kid thing, but you used to play what's that ball? The game where you're hitting the ball around the pole. What's that called?
Tetherball.
Tetherball. Oh man, I used to get my ass beat in that game.
They just beat you up.
They just like I'm like ready to go, guys, and they just start shoving me and like
They just throwing rocks at you. They like tie you to the tetherball pole and just start wailing on you.
Have you guys seen what?
No, go ahead.
So have you guys seen the movie Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
You know the scene
Great
where they
movie.
try beating the zombie up with a tether pole? Simon Pegg does, and he just stabs him into the tree. That's what I'm imagining with you. Like, they just rip out the pole and just
Little
start...
12-year-old me is just impaled against it. Oh my god. I miss like old middle school PE because high school PE was all about like actual physical fitness. Middle school PE
was just recess.
No, it really was. I mean, you got dressed and all that, but like you got dressed out, and then you would go out, and you were all in the same uniform. But like, other than that, it was just another break, you know.
Really?
Like
I had to
do
run the
my
mile every time.
Well, yeah, there was that day, but then after that, it was fine.
yeah. It's like once a month.
You
I
guys got
do
it
all
once
my
a month. Oh
I got
my
once
god!
a week. I got it like every Friday.
I got
do
it
all my-
every day.
you.
What do
Oh
you mean
my
you had
gosh,
it
I'm
every
sorry.
day?
He ran the mile every day. He didn't have to. He just wanted to, and he just kept going. And the teacher asked him to stop.
Wait, was this the private school?
No, this was Temecula Middle School.
Oh, thank God I dodged that bullet.
See, so what happened with our school was like we had it once a month, right? And I remember running the mile this one month, and they didn't know how to like organize kids, so you just kind of were all in like a mosh pit, like a moving mosh pit. Everyone moved at the same speed, and you just kind of like split off eventually because some kids would like stop and take a rest, and some kids would keep going. I wasn't looking like directly in front of me. I was talking to one of my friends to the left or right of me, and I just remember feeling an intense pain in my foot, and I fell over, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And I look down, and I'm like, "Oh, this is bad." I go to the nurse's office, and she takes off my shoe and my sock, and every single one of my toes was bending in a different direction because I had accidentally kicked a fire hydrant at full force while sprinting. And yeah, so I broke every toe of my right foot.
Oh my god.
And the nurse looks at me and goes, "Hang on, so we're gonna get this fixed up real quick." She puts a bag of ice on it and leaves. It was.
Did you have to like go to the actual doctor
I had to
afterwards?
go to the actual doctor immediately after school, but she wouldn't release me, which made me so pissed off. And I'm just waiting in the office. I couldn't go to a class. I couldn't walk. It was really painful. But like, no,
sorry.
I hated like PE class just because I do all my physical fitness stuff at home. I don't like working out in front of people. It makes me like self-conscious. So I don't know. It's a weird thing like doing it in front of other people, and especially after something like that. Like
just think
everyone
about it
knew me
this way,
about the broken foot guy. You know what were you saying?
The broken foot guy. Hey, yeah, here's Austin. What's he known for? Oh, you know, he has a broken foot. Yeah, that's a very defining character trait. I couldn't write a screenplay and just have like one guy named like Broken Foot Jerry.
Oh,
He used to be. But yeah, just think about it this way, Austin. When you work out in public, you're just making someone else feel better about themselves.
No.
I want to crawl into
No.
a corner right now.
No.
I want to.
Dude, I'm awful at exercise. Dude, the V-sit is the worst, or like the sit and reach, or whatever you want to call it. That is the.
It's
That
a
is the
stretch.
most
It's not an
embarrassing-
exercise.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
but I
seeing how
hate
far
it.
you can go. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but like your tendons get torn apart. You know,
Yes,
when
they rip you apart in PE class.
Ah!
they're like further, and they just rip your torso off of you.
Get
And it's just like this big beefy like Australian man. He's like, "Hey," and then like rips you in half, and it's like, "All right, that's PE for today." You just go on a lesson with Bison the Butcher.
Brady, did you unplug your headphones?
Yeah.
You instantly switch back.
Yeah. Yeah, I
No,
did.
it was a good sound. I enjoyed it. It was a good change of pace, a nice little environment. You know,
It made me change my pants.
I've gotten it was bad. I've gotten better with like the whole self conscious thing. Like now I'm running in my neighborhood and trying to see if I can improve my fastest time over and over. Dude, I'm really proud of myself. I ran a like a sub 8 mile the other day, and that's like a first for me.
Oh,
I was really happy
man.
with that. Oh, and for those who don't know, who's listening to this, I'm going to boot camp. So I really got to like grind myself out because I am not the most physically fit person in the world. So we're just going at it.
Yeah, I don't recommend. Like, I think you should push yourself even harder when it comes to your mile times.
Yeah. No, I want to get like at least sub 7 because if I don't do that, I'm worried I might not pass like certain tests in the military,
Yeah.
and that'd be really bad.
Yeah, they're really
So-
looking for like
Yeah,
the above, maybe like under 7-minute miles.
Yeah. But you know, we're working hard on it. I feel much better about myself physically now. I mean, I'm a much more fit person than I was like say a year ago.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
like we haven't seen you for a week, and we come back, and you're just like ripped. You're just like
He's got legs
unbelievable.
on his biceps.
No, but like, and then even a year before that, I was just unhealthily skinny. Like, Kai, do you remember that? How I was just like bone and mass.
And that's how I like. That's my peak body shape. That's what I like to look like. I don't want to get
The
buff.
thing is, I don't know why, but Brady, you don't like to eat,
Oh, I hate
and
eating.
it scares me.
It's because of my medic. I'm on meds, right? So the one thing it does is it just goes, "Hey, do you like eating?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it's like, "What if you didn't?" And I'm like, "Okay." And I just dislike eating. It's awful.
I don't know why. It
It
Is
like
it like a
ruins
day
your
long thing, or
appetite.
does it
It's
just
like
come and
all,
go?
It's all day. It is all day after you take the meds.
Jeez.
So I can. So what ends up happening, and it's like the worst habit ever, is I don't eat anything like for like all week, and then the weekend comes around, and I just like gourd myself. It's
Oh my god,
horrible.
really? Another one? I feel. Oh my god. Okay, I feel bad segueing from this. Like, hey, you have this like whole thing where you don't like to eat. You know what I have? Mosquito bites. Top that. Like that whole thing. But
Uh-huh.
I just found a 6th one on my arm today because I sat
Where are you
outside
going
for
that
an
has
hour.
mosquitoes?
Outside my house. I sat outside for an hour, and I was fucking. I literally was just sitting down in pants and a flannel, and I was making sure that all like my limbs were covered, and I still got like 6 mosquito bites on my arm. One of them looks like a straight up nipple. Like it is so
Did you
big.
sign up for a blood
Are you sure
drive,
it's not?
dude?
Are you sure? Yeah. You sign up for a blood drive. It's just like, wait a few days. We'll send the mosquitoes after you. They just got like hordes and hordes of mosquitoes that just like collect
No.
blood.
I like the idea better that I didn't sign up for any blood drive, and then a bunch of mosquitoes bite me, and then I get an email from the San Diego Bank of Blood that says thank you for your service, and then just
That would be
That's where it
really
cuts
cool.
off.
We should start creating like messenger mosquitoes.
Dude, I got this like horrible like hellscape world where like they're like, okay, it's time for the blood drive, and then they just like put you in this like big like glass cylinder, and then they just start pumping mosquitoes in, and it's just like this
Ew.
room of just like thousands of mosquitoes. Oh my god! And then like they open the door and you're like,
That was on an episode of One Punch Man.
Oh, okay. Was it?
I don't watch the show, but it sounds really
There
funny.
was an evil villain that controlled mosquitoes, and she would go attack this guy, and she was attacking random civilians. So some dude was just walking down the street, and then all of a sudden this big cloud of mosquitoes went over, covered him, went away, and the dude was a skeleton.
That
I
is
would
a
like to imagine.
creepypasta. That is.
This is SCP-1344.
Object class, pretty cool, I think.
From object class, mosquito.
No, did I tell have I ever told you my blood story, Brady? How I gave blood to the van that was at school?
The van at the back of Walgreens.
yeah.
Did I say? Well, Kai, you were there for
Yeah.
it. I gave blood, and they asked if I wanted to do a second transfusion. And keep in mind, after this, me and Kai and Zach and Nikki and a couple other people. I don't know if they want their names dropped in this. So those were
Frank?
fake names, just for anyone watching. Those were
Frank,
fake.
Frank, and Frank. Okay.
Yeah, so all the Franks. Basically, we were supposed to go to like Panera Bread or something after that, and so I had to drive because no one else could. And I go into this blood bank, and then they go, "Hey, do you want a second transfusion?" I'm like, "What does that mean?" And they say, "Well, we're gonna take the plasma out of you, like some of your plasma."
Plasma?
You're just gonna sell your organs.
You're right. What plasma? Like,
No,
like it's
like your the one that's
like
in your
the
bloodstream.
ectoplasma, like the goo.
Ectoplasma? Is that what you just said to my face?
Ectoplasm.
Austin, you have ectoplasma in your body, and we need to extract it.
It was super rare. Yeah,
Yeah,
they needed a sample for the lab. No, so I go in and they go, "You want the second transfusion? It's gonna help fire victims and cancer victims." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, sign me up!" And I go in and they bring me into the same chair again, and they start putting the needles in. And they're like, "Just so you know, you might get a little bit cold." And I've never had a problem with like blood drive or anything. I get blood all the time, and I've
This is your
never
first
had
time giving
like,
ectoplasm.
Oh my god,
This
plasma is an
was.
actual thing. I looked it up.
it's an actual thing.
Yeah, of course it's a real thing. What do you mean? Abducted? What, they were just making stuff
He
up?
was
We're gonna-
abducted by aliens.
So,
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so they ask me, they're like, "You want to do this whole transfusion?" Sit me down in the chair, put the needles in, and I've given blood a bunch of times. I've never had a problem of passing out or anything like that. And they go, "Just so you know, you might get a little bit cold." I'm like, "All right, it's fine. I've dealt with the cold before." I start uncontrollably shivering almost immediately.
Wait.
Like
Say that again. Say that again.
I start uncontrollably shivering.
Oh, okay.
Almost. Oh, was I just shitting myself in this chair?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And it was on the blood transfusion. It was in the no. So I start shivering, and they have to take out a fire blanket and wrap it around me so I stop shivering. And that was a really scary moment. And then all of a sudden, the whole thing was over, and I just felt like drained. And they were like, "All right, let's get you up." And they got me up. I started drinking water, and I ate a couple cookies and stuff like that. And then they were like, "Just so you know, you're gonna feel a little bit weary for like the next hour, and you should probably be careful on certain things." I'm like, "Should I be driving? Because I have to drive my friends." And I'm literally like swaying back and forth as I say this. I have to drive my friends to Panera Bread. And the girl goes, "I don't see why not." And so I didn't
crashed the
drive
car.
right away. No, I didn't drive right away. I took like a 15-minute break. But that girl was just gonna let me go. Like so
Like
that
you're
was, that was
Like
my
you're missing
experience with
legs.
that. How do I do this? I have to like hit it with my stubby arm and control the wheel with another. I'm doing like
Your
this-
legs are gone. Where are you? Your arms are fine in this scenario. Like, what happened? I'm imagining like you got like just hands instead of like you don't have any arms, you just have hands. You know?
That is
That's
the worst image you've ever put in my head. I think
You do know there's people that like are born that way, right, Austin?
that have
Like, that's
just
just-
hands and not arms.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I thought it
Oh,
was
God, I
like
feel really bad
I
for-
kept thinking of like their hands were floating midair.
What, like Rayman?
Yeah.
Like they were like you didn't download CS Source, so like some of their stuff was missing, like the textures.
Like they're just like black and purple.
They're the beta testers of VR.
Like they come up to you and you shake their hand, and then suddenly both of you like fall to the floor and like no clip. I feel like with the Handman and the no clipping, that might be a good place to end the first episode of the $3 bill. What do you guys
Oh
think?
yeah, it's been an hour. It's been
I'm
exactly
tired.
an hour.
I'm really. Oh, okay.
I'm a fucking god, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I can sense time with my third
Or
eye.
you just
Okay,
looked at the clock.
all right. Don't
Or
mess
you
with
just
me.
Looked at the clock.
Don't mess with me. I know how to tell time. All right. Analog,
I'm pretty smart.
analog clocks are my bitch. Okay. Well, I don't know if I think we're all equal hosts on this. Like, there's not like a definitive host of this podcast.
I mean, I'd say
so I'm just gonna
I was.
Oh, would you like to give off a sending message to the
Yes, I
audience?
would. Okay, guys, you could only hear this once and only once.